Mike Moore. My company's Pest Pest Control. Typically mice are usually the problem around this time of year, mice and squirrels. Typically, if you're going to have a mice issue, you're going to usually hear scratching noises, or you're going to see, there's droppings in the kitchen, things like that. Squirrels, you mainly hear like, pitter patter in the attic. But that just sounds like it's running. Then that usually indicates it's a squirrel that's running and it's in the daytime. I guess the thing I like about it, I like interacting with people, and you start learning a certain trade like this. Not too many people know the things I know about animals, and I actually like explaining myself to people when it comes to squirrels and things like that, or investigating. That's what a lot of this work is investigating work, so it can be challenging.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. In studio with me now is Mike Moore. He owns a pest control company, and he's here to tell us about the signs that you may have some unwanted house guests. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How are you?
Pretty good by yourself.
I'm awesome.
All
and
right.
I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here too.
So in the winter months, some pests go dormant, and others seek out warm, dry spaces to occupy, like our houses.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, let's start just with the basics, okay? What kind of pests like to overwinter in our homes?
Well, you got, mice, squirrels, raccoons, anything that's trying to stay warm on the outside is going to try to move into the inside.
Now, these pests aren't paying rent, right?
Nope, they got to go.
They got to go. So, what are some... So, first of all, how do you know you have them? Like, what are some of the common signs that they've moved in?
Well, for raccoon, people think there's a person in their attic, so I'm sure you'll know right away.
The scratching on the walls.
More like pounding noises for raccoons.
Really?
Mice are little light scratching. So if you're hearing light scratching at night, it's most likely gonna be mice if it's around this time of year.
Really? I hear that in my house.
Uh-oh. Well,
But I always think it's outside. You mean it could be inside? You don't know, though, for sure, right?
No, you don't know for sure. But that's why we're here. So just give us a call, and we'll come back out. Or we'll come
Now, let's talk about mice for a second, because it seems to be like the most common. You guys get rid of mice, right?
Yep.
Okay. Are there pet-friendly ways to control?
Yeah, there's pet-friendly ways to control it. You can put glue boards out, things like that. But in the end, it always seems like we got to use something a little more harsh. But we're safe with everything we use. We use tamper-proof containers so dogs can't get into it, cats, kids.
So if my own house pets are protected from that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you ever use like a mouse trap with cheese?
No. It's only the movies, I think.
Is that the movies?
I think that's more of the movies.
Shows you how much I know about that. What about peanut butter? I thought peanut butter works too.
Yeah, you can use peanut butter.
I've seen the videos where, like, the mouse goes up to the peanut butter and, like, slowly eats away at it and gets and steals it before the mouse trap goes
No,
off.
it's possible.
Right?
Yep, they do that.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. So let's talk about how to prevent let's give some preventative steps homeowners can take to avoid some infestation, okay? A lot of homeowners in the last couple of years have upgraded their furnace, and the furnace now has this new side venting or high efficiency, these PVC pipes that come out the side. Have you seen like cracks and holes around those?
Yeah.
Do you recommend people plug those up?
Yeah, plug them up. If they're not there already, you can plug them up. But if you already have mice, don't start plugging stuff up, because next thing you know, your whole house is going to be invaded. So,
really?
yeah, just make
Why? Because they get trapped inside and then they reproduce?
Yep. Well, they just get trapped inside and they know where to go.
Okay.
Stuff needs water, so if it needs to drink or eat, it's going to go right to your kitchen or.
So we talk a lot about dryer vents and cleaning them. It's a fire hazard, but when you think about it, it's like a cool little spa for rodents, right? It's warm,
sometimes.
cushiony.
Usually, if it's the same thing you're saying about the pipes,
Yeah.
If it's not sealed off around it, that's how they're going to get in. They're never going to climb through the dryer vent. Unless there's an access hole inside of the vent itself, like a hole somewhere you can climb through, then maybe.
Okay, so what about like a wire mesh? Do they have that so they can plug that to prevent?
Yeah, yep. There's stuff you can buy from Home Depot that connects you can put right over it.
Now, what about food in your pantry? Like food around your house? For whatever reason, the mice always get to the box of cereal, right?
Yeah.
Or is that just a myth? Another thing I've seen on the internet.
They're excellent climbers. They can get right on top of your counters, get into your upper cabinets. People don't think they can get that high, but they can. They'll find a way.
Okay. Now, what about moisture in basements and crawl spaces? That makes a difference too?
Yeah, they'll make a difference. If you have water buildup, that's you're going to attract everything, not just mice and rats. You're going to attract insects, things like that.
Okay, and I wasn't sure. Now, what about like if you got a door and you can see a little bit of light around the bottom of the door or the crack around it? Is that like a door sweep should be put on?
Yep, something like that. Mice can compress their bodies and squeeze underneath the door. So if there's a gap, you're going to want to get that fixed.
Okay, it makes sense to me. And so typically when a homeowner calls out a pest control company like yours, you come out, you do an assessment of the whole area?
Yep, we'll do a full inspection, figure out every little entry point that they could possibly be using, whether it's up high or down low. We'll track them down and figure it out.
All right, can you stick around for this next segment for us? I want to do this Green Minute because it's time for us to do that.
It's time for the Green Minute with Hire It Done, brought to you by Malarkey Roofing. Malarkey Roofing Products, defining excellence.
Is eco-friendly pest control even possible? Or do you lose the effectiveness when you stop using the harsh chemicals? We are here right now, folks, to demystify it for you. And of course, the answer is yes. Eco-friendly, effective pest control is possible. Here's some facts. An estimated 45 million pounds of pesticides are used annually in homes, according to the EPA. And the CDC reports that 90% of Americans have a mixture of up to 43 pesticides in our body. Oy, that's a lot. Well, the first line of defense, folks, is prevention. So keep your house and your yard clean and stay on top of the preventative maintenance, like sealing the cracks, like we just talked about with Mike Moore, fixing leaky faucets, and picking up outdoor debris. Now, there are some natural solutions. And Mike, we've got Mike from Pest Easy. He's our resident pest control. Have you ever heard of cedar oil?
I've heard of it.
What about diatomaceous earth or citric acid or even garlic extract?
Yeah, I've heard of all of it.
Do any of those work?
To a certain point, they will, but people think that it's a magic. They can just put it down and it's solved. Well, usually, if there's insects there and you're having an issue, there could be a moisture buildup somewhere that you just don't know about. Like you're saying about in the crawl space, that can attract a lot of things. And that if you're just putting that diatomaceous earth down, you're not really solving the issue. You're just putting a Band-Aid on it.
So we have a full list, by the way, at hireitdone.com. So if you ever want to get reference from listening to the show, folks, that one didn't count. You can always go to hireitdone.com. So there are also organic biopesticides, and they're different from their chemical predecessors that target specific pests and have little or no effect on the beneficial insects or the environment. Are you familiar with biopesticides?
A little bit.
So they say here that it's use helpful organisms to gain biological control over pests and build up the ecosystem's natural resistance to destructive organisms. So it's like using nature to fight nature.
Yeah.
Sounds like to me, which is kind of cool. So when you go into a house and a homeowner says, "Oh, I have garlic oil or cedar oil or lavender. Or I use oils to get rid of this stuff." Can you compliment what they're doing?
Yeah, but in the end, like I was saying, you always got to get rid of the source. You put as much stuff down as you want, but you got to get rid of things that around the house, whether there's wood buildup on the outside, things like that.
What about bats? Do bats come in the houses in the wintertime?
Yeah, bats come in at the wintertime, the overwinter. Mm-hmm. They'll be there all winter long, so they ain't going nowhere.
And they stay. Do they really hang upside down?
Yeah, they do.
When you go there, do you see them?
Sometimes you'll see them in the attic. Yeah.
You see them hanging upside down?
You kind of see them clinched to the wall. You don't really see them hanging upside down, but if it's the winter
Are they
time,
clinched to the wall upside down though, or not?
Both. Yeah.
Did you ever take pictures?
We have a few pictures.
I want to try. I want to see that. Will you send me some?
Yeah, we'll send you some.
Okay. Now I've seen it when you've done bat removal before. You can do that tube.
Yeah.
Can you explain that process, or is that proprietary?
You're gonna give away my secret though.
Well,
no, it's you just gotta
Batman.
seal the
Bruce
home,
Wayne is Batman. You know that, right?
Excuse me.
Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Is he?
Clark Kent, Superman.
Well, he's lost a bunch of times to me then.
Okay, well, I'm just letting you know. You said giving away secrets. It's an open forum here.
It's to get rid of bats, you have to pretty much do a full seal up. Then you put a funnel, one-way door in.
Right.
So the bats can get out and can't get back in. You can't just go up there and start harming the bats because it's actually against the law to harm them because they're on protected, species list.
So you just give them the one-way door.
Give them the one-way door, let them get out and do their job on the
Do you put
outside.
so it's this plastic tube, and it's a one-way tube. You put the tube, where they get into the attic. They go in the tube, and when they get out, They can't get back.
Yeah, they just can't get back in.
So do you, on the other end of the tube, you put like kind of like bat food?
No, no bad food. Everything needs to eat and get out and get water and everything. So that's when they lead to go feed. That's when they
Does it
get out.
usually, when you do something like that for a homeowner, does it take like a week, a month, or is it like happens in hours?
It usually happens pretty quick. We say give it a month to give us a call back. Because over a month period, you'll know if obviously if the noise isn't in the attic anymore. That's a pretty good indicator that they're not there anymore.
That's nice. Good stuff. Now, do you recommend an annual coming out every couple months to a house
For bats,
for any kind of pest control?
usually every 90 days. That's usually when you want us to come back out. We do have maintenance programs that.
So if someone like in wintertime right now, should they call you springtime? Or should they call you now? What's the best thing to get on the pest control plan?
Well, if they're having an issue, give us a call anytime. Obviously, you don't want to be living with insects and rodents or anything.
So that's cool. So for more information on to be eco-friendly and get pest-free in your house, just visit hireitdone.com. Coming up next, we're going to get tax tips from Lawrence Levy, the tax pro. We'll have advice for homeowners and small business owners. I'm Adam Helfman, and you're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.